Almost ready to start. Just got it. Had to queue up the video. To the party. It's your boy Malentent back again for another day. Path of Exile. Of course, as you can see, we got issues. Kinda sucks. How can you? Oh. No signal. All right. Let's see why this does not work. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. That's just terrible. That's just terrible. Don't you hate it when you gotta climb up under your desk and unplug and plug things back in so it functions? Oh, so. All right, gotta do my due diligence. Gotta do my due diligence. Climb up under this under here and then climb back out. Hold for a second. Gotta love when this happens. All right, here we go. See, now I'm supposed to figure that out before I start the videos. All right, so we are going to go to do the Q&A part of Path of Exile. We're gonna review that Q&A, see exactly what's going on.
Teaser for Return of the Ancients expansion and its complete overhaul to just every single thing in the endgame, complete endgame overhaul. The Runes of Outdoor League with a frankly somewhat confusing amount of crafting and systems and things in it. It kind of keeps going. And then we've got like the Kalguran skills that work across weapons, the extra looking ascendancies and some insane uniques and all that sort of stuff. But honestly, it's kind of easy to talk about what's not part of 0.5. So with that very elegant segue, let's do that first. So I think some people definitely had an expectation or a hope that there was going to be a new class or a new weapon type here, swords perhaps.
Unfortunately, it's just the case that making a class is something that takes longer than a single cycle. So yeah, it was never going to be on the cards for 050, unfortunately. But
so it wasn't even that it was moved in this case.
No, it just wasn't. It just isn't something that we can do in that short amount of time. So it's going to have to be the next one before we're able to get.
Well, last time you guys teased like the druid and the huntress beforehand.
Exactly. Right? So it's kind of funny seeing everyone like this. Like probably the mistake we made was having a sword in the teaser for the breach stuff.
I thought it was a fishing rod.
yeah. So no one thought about that, but it's just kind of funny.
It is a shame, but it seems like you guys have kind of. Well, you keep raising the bar on yourself as far as class design is concerned. Like,
and it's not like we're not working on it in the background, right? Like that is definitely happening.
I've been seeing a little bit of work going on there.
We're simple people from New Zealand. Like swords, they're advanced technology that we haven't
yet. So we just don't understand.
We're trying to learn how they work.
Just like get on the map, aren't you?
There's like a straight line. There's like some metal. These are complex things.
There's a lot to figure out there. But do you care to speak at all, like kind of what your plans are in that regard as far as like classes? And
I really
stuff
shouldn't,
that.
just because it'll spoil the reveal for that will come
Not
some of
exactly,
the time.
but like, what are you kind of hoping towards getting, like, from 0.5 onwards, in the lead up to ExileCon in terms of that? Are you hoping to get like all of the classes in the game, just one or two more or something like that?
Well, so I think that what the main focus is going between 050 and 1.0 is going to be more about like improving what we have, like polishing everything. And 1.0 is where you're going to get the like the big new content update. Like that's going to include the X5 and 6. It's going to include like class stuff. It's going to include like all that sort of thing. Because really, ultimately, the main goal of what of early access is like make sure that all the systems that we have in the game are good. Right, so we need to make sure the end game is good. We need to make sure that all of the the skills, just the way that combat is good, and like all the various things, like like even stuff that isn't good yet. Like ascendancy trials, right? Like there's going to be stuff that we need to do before 1.0 to get good, and so like that's kind of so long as we can get that stuff, then I think people trust that we know how to create like an act at this point, right? Like so that isn't exactly something we need to test per se, So really what we need to do now is like assuming that people are happy with the end game that we've released in 050. That will mean that we've kind of checked all the boxes of stuff that we need to know, and there's still stuff that we need to improve, and like that'll happen between 050 and 1.0. But like that's the main thing we need to be sure of. And then once we've got that, it's like now we can get the big update, the ridiculous update that is 1.0 ready.
And I heard you mentioning that recently as well, that you don't feel like you really need to get the last acts in for testing.
No. I mean, like
know how to do that.
we know how to do that. It's one of those things that like look, people saw in for like we know what we're doing when it comes to that stuff. It's just
the plan's obviously to get like those last acts in, then finish the story and have all that come out at launch
in 1.0 exactly, and look, that'll be the launch
conclusion to the story then. Exactly. So you have done though one extremely gigantic update here for Endgame, and it seems like you've done.
Okay, so what they're saying is that they know how to do the acts, so that's fine, but you still haven't addressed any of my concerns, my long-term concerns. What are y'all gonna do about balancing the powers and making sure that every power is usable throughout the campaign? That's it. Either are you going to tone down your bosses? Are you going to tone down the bosses? Or are you going to balance level all the powers throughout the campaign and then ramp up the difficulty inside of the end game? But the campaign can't be beaten by all powers. That's a problem.
A lot all-in-one expansion.
Yeah.
And you've got this plan to like kind of do a little bit of like some other stuff in the interim. So why did you go for this route of trying to do so much all in one instead of spreading it out over, say, a couple of expansions?
So in retrospect, maybe we should have spread it out. But honestly, the reason is because we wanted to actually make it so that like we wanted to deliver a patch where like this is what we expect the end game to be. Like this is the template for what leagues look like when they're in end game and that kind of thing. And I feel like if we'd just done a couple of them, it wouldn't have really got that across. Yeah. Like it needs to be like, once again, this is what end game is, and it really is fulfilling a lot more of what we had hoped for in terms of feeling like a world that you can explore, that there's things everywhere and that kind of stuff that we had wanted for. And the other thing as well is there were just like a few things about the current end game, right? It just didn't really give you goals in the right way. Like you get to end game, you don't know what the hell to do, and a lot of players just leave right there. There needs to be the case that when you get there, like there's objectives, there's things.
Okay, so he is kind of correct, but I don't know if that's if what he said is exactly the feeling. The situation is you get to the end game and you're burnt out from the campaign. All the struggles, the pain, the issues that you got going through the campaign. Then you get to the end game and you're playing the end game and you're like, oh, you've got lots of things. It's kind of like with PoE 1. So PoE 1, you get to the end game, you got all the maps and everything that you can do, you can play. And if you wanted to start a new character, you feel like, hey, I can start a new character, and you can run through the campaign, get to the end game again, and it's fine. You have maybe two or three characters in the league to the end game, and the path to the end game plus the end game with the different characters aren't as bad. When you get to PoE 2, the struggle to get you from point A to point B, i.e., through the campaign, is so tedious and so problematic. Nobody wants to do it. You get if I don't know if you noticed, but you'll see a lot of people, they'll sit there and they have one character type and they'll respec back and out of forth for that one character type, changing that one character type into whatever they want, going back through the campaign as, oh, I'm gonna take a warrior up now, or I'm gonna take a mercenary up now. It is so cumbersome and so tiresome that, you know, a lot of people don't do it.
You know, that feels like there's actually a storyline there, this kind of stuff, in order to entice players to actually go further than the campaign and actually get into endgame. So, yeah, I think that if we hadn't have done all of the leagues at the same time, it just wouldn't really have kind of gotten across what we're really going for there.
And it sounds like the plan now is to be able to focus on a little bit more polish in the lead up to ExileCon as well.
So, yeah, I mean, we plan to have some more leagues, but they won't be like content, like mega expansion type leagues. Like, it's more like kind of like the 1 month event type things that we've done. And that's really just because we want to be able to, we still don't want to do mid-league nerfs. And so to be able to do all the balance changes we want to do, because there's a huge amount of balance still to do. You know, in order to do all that stuff, you still need to have an
Okay, so he does understand that there's balance issues. And he just said there's a huge amount of balance things that they need to do. Does that mean that they understand that all the other powers need to be brought up? Or they need to ramp down the bosses inside of the campaign? What do they mean? What does that mean to us as the player?
Economy reset, and so what we'll probably do is like, yeah, more event type stuff, like remixes of existing content, but also adding stuff where stuff's missing. So for example, like we still have a lot more uniques we need to make, especially like mid-game uniques, so that kind of stuff. Like we now believe we've got the standard of where a unique needs to be in PoE 2 in terms of like, you know, and it's like way more than what you need in PoE 1 in terms of being like to reach the standard. And so now that we've got that, we can expand on that, get more uniques, sort of, you know, mid-game ones, that kind of stuff. You know, so yeah, there's stuff like that that'll be coming in the sort of the updates between now and 1.0, but yeah, like it isn't going to be the kind of like, you know, mega content craziness that we've got for 050 here.
We have a lot to dive into as far as endgame things. While people watching live, get your questions in the chat for all of that. In the meantime, I want to ask you folks about the new league, the Runes of Aldur, which this is like an expedition rework, but it's also its own separate league. This encountering remnants, uncovering these runes throughout this storyline in the campaign and then into endgame. And I was like, really, like, it's a lot. There's a lot of like crafting and items and reward types and systems and stuff going on here. In fact, Jonathan, you showed me this rather unhinged looking spreadsheet. Like, I was like, oh, so these are just like random rewards or something. But then you showed me this spreadsheet, like that's like the recipes of all how different runes combine together to make different things.
Yeah. We probably put too much thought into it that it honestly needed. But like, like we have to make sure that like if it's an iron rune, like what kind of stuff would be, you know, creating that, like, you know, that's just something that, like, the recipes have a lot more structure to them, and I suspect a lot of that players won't even think about. Like, they'll just see list pick for item, you know, like that's something I don't really think about. But there is some thought put into that of like what things go to what recipes.
One way to look at this is this league has the most spreadsheets we've ever made.
Like, that's a title line, right?
The other day I was looking through all the, we have this gig, it's called like Verisium crafting or something.
Yeah.
I was looking through all the tabs, and I was like, I was on like the 60th tab, and I was like, the heck is this? I was reading all this stuff, and it said like Mark's ideas, and I was like, I don't remember coming up with any of this. I did. There's just like pages and pages and pages of crafts and stats, and just like honestly, I've lost the plot a little bit with respect to how many like different things we've made, and like it's honestly just been crazy.
Idea writing.
Some of the rune stuff is like also super bizarre. Like, what's like? I don't even really understand that rune that's got to do with uniques. Like, what's going on with that?
It's called Olroth's Legacy. And it's a rune that you can place in Ezomite and Kalgurin uniques to destroy the unique, and it takes one of the mods off of it and creates a unique rune.
What?
With a slightly modified value sometimes, because obviously, and then you can put that in the same item class of a. I
don't even know about this system. Systems just keep coming out of the
there's just so many crazy crafting things going on. But it was kind of like, well, when we were designing the league, we're like, okay, we've got Kalgurans, like,
Okay, so what I'm just hearing is you can take unique items, rip out one of their mods, and then move it to another item, which is something that they kind of did inside of PoE 1. There is some way to do that a little bit. Um, and it's not that you pull out the unique mod inside of PoE 1. You get a rune that is like the stats on a unique item, and you can use that rune on on a different item to get it to do the things. So it was like you can make a regular weapon have wolves and stuff like that. There's a rune that allows you to do that. There was a bunch of different runes that I bumped into over the time frame of playing that allows you to do those type of things. So I can understand what he's talking about. Still, hey, okay. So let me just put it to you this way. I have faith that they're really trying. I really do. I have faith that they're really trying. I just don't know if I can get. I don't know if I can get the hype behind it. I really don't.
What kind of crazy crafting and magic systems would Kogurans have, like, that would be different than the stuff that's going on in Rayclast? And so, their whole magic system is based around, like, this star metal that they have Verisium, and then they, the words give it power and so on. So we're just kind of thinking, we're using that as inspiration for all the different crafting things you have.
Blue shapes.
Yeah, all the blue runic shapes and everything. So it was just a lot of
little nuts on this.
Yeah, we went definitely. So there's so many crafting things. Like, in fact, there's even more crafting stuff we had. Like, there were entire crafting benches that we have designed and practically like 80% implemented and then discarded. Like, there's just like a huge amount of that stuff.
We can do this or some other way, some
exactly.
cool way. Yeah, so like, because I saw that there's like, you can.
My work phone ran out of power.
And it changes the unique and it has a new.
My work phone ran out of power. I got to put that thing on the charger, turn it on so I can go ahead and people can call me from work. Oops.
Modifier, but now you've also got a rune that steals modifiers off uniques as well, which I had no idea
Why
about.
not?
Why not? You like making more work for yourselves these days. It seems to be a running theme. I keep saying this to you. Like, why do you do this? Like, why do you do this?
Yeah.
Why do you make it so you have to, like, from now on, you always have to look at all the modifiers on gloves?
100%. So yeah, because of that monk ascendancy, now every unique we ever make that's a glove unique, we have to design extra mods that it changes to.
One other axis on that. All these new runes we've added, all of them. Remember that shaman that has that whole bonded modifier on every rune that we need to also add?
Yeah.
Wow.
So does that apply to the ones that come from uniques like that?
TBD. We're going to try. Yes, we are going to try to do it. Yes, but the idea is all of them will work. Yes.
So that's like there's some really unusual ones too, because there's runes that are designed to just be put into an item to metacraft and then be replaced. Right?
I'm really proud of that one actually, because I really like the way that it's like doing metacrafting in a more understandable way, I reckon, than what PoE 1 had. So you put the item in, you can start rolling different mods, but then you can take it out again by putting another rune on top. So
I guess there's going to be maybe some process where you put one of those in, do a craft, and then put another one in, do another craft.
Almost certainly.
Together.
That one's pretty cool. We got like chronomancy mods on boots. You got like a berserking themed one for helmet. There's like a kind of decay damage over time one for gloves, and there's a few others there. So we've kind of tried to theme them as well.
Yeah, that's like even a different thing to what we've had in the past with meta mods. Like, that's not just shaping how we access the current modifiers, but rather new modifier pools entirely getting added to items.
I mean, we also have that new modifier pool thing going on with Breach as well, where with the new minion set of mods and the new caster set of mods on rings and stuff like that. Like,
crazy.
But the thing is, part of the reason for this is because we really wanted to make sure. So one of the things we're in the sort of early design phase of this is we're kind of like, every league needs to have something that you're going to keep, like, if you want to grind Justice League, that there's a thing that, like, a reward that, like, you can keep on, that keeps on giving, if you know what I mean. But there's like a reason to keep on doing this, like, economically. So therefore every league has to have some kind of crafting system that you can engage with for a very long period of time. And like, we didn't quite have that, because like some of the leagues sort of had that a bit before, but now we want to make sure that every league definitely has something along those lines. So that, just a reason to keep going.
Yeah, people can absolutely find like a niche, a service they provide the community or whatnot, which I quite like to see, especially the Breach Tree getting real deep cuts on some of those things that you can do there, and now with the runes and everything as well. So for the back to the the runes of Eldor, you're not actually needing to like find those runes that you're inscribing on those encounters, right? Because I wasn't quite clear on how that works.
Thematically, that's how it works. But in reality, the way that you'll engage with it is when you find a rune that's sort of inscribed on a thing, then like all the recipes that relate to that rune will be displayed, except for that there's a few hidden ones that you have to do some quests to get. So there's some more quests throughout the campaign, and also some stuff in in-game that you can do to unlock a few more recipes.
Yeah, but you don't have to like physically like cart these sorts of things around.
No. There's nothing like that. So effectively, like you're just picking from the book every time. So like if you want to just look at this as like, you know, walk up to the object, there's some recipes, just pick which item you want. That's effectively how you can engage with it. But thematically, there's kind of more stuff going on with the way that the recipes form and what we decide to put in stuff.
So you showed that these remnants, then this new remnant system, obviously it shares the name with remnants from expeditions themselves, and in endgame it actually replaces those remnants. So you are still finding these standalone remnants from the League mechanic, like in maps as well as expeditions.
Correct. So yeah, every area there'll be a remnant, and you do the sort of standalone remnant mechanic. But then when you do expeditions, all the what used to be called remnants there have been replaced by these remnants, which serve a similar purpose because they both give you an extra reward. But
okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, don't want to hear most of the stuff that they're talking about. Let's just go ahead and just be honest. I really don't want to hear most of this because most of this is like, yeah, whatever. So one of the things that I want to hear is about skills and balances. So I'm jumping to that because that's what I really want to learn about, because the balance and the skills are so bad, I just don't feel like playing the game. So let me jump to here.
We do, yeah, exactly, and we do have a big list of stuff we want to change there. Like
it is a list,
which isn't to say that we didn't do some balance for this.
I expected you to do almost none on this one, given the scope.
No, but there's definitely some. There's some important ones too.
Yeah. Which we'll cover a few of those.
We've got some Chronomancer stuff. There's we're doing a bunch of stuff, but honestly, it just is as much as we can, to be honest. Like we're not sitting idly not doing it, but yeah, like I understand that there's a few things, which I assume you're going to bring up a couple others that are left unresolved, and
certainly.
Hopefully maybe one of them's resolved, we'll see.
Well, the next one was Rarity, reprising our earlier discussions on Rarity from the last Q&A, where you were saying that you were eager to at some point remove Rarity from
I am interested in doing that. It's still a question of what we can replace it with, but there is one other change to talk about around that is a bit more subtle, and I don't know whether it will matter or not, but one of the things we identified, I mean, look, the thing people often say with Rarity is they just don't want it to give currency. Yeah, that's like a common thing that they'll say. Like people who say they want to keep Rarity, they'll often say, "Oh, but it should. You could just remove the currency from it, and then it'll be okay." So what we were thinking about is like, there's this sort of market dynamic that goes on in PoE 1, but hadn't been going on in PoE 2 so much, where people couldn't really respond in PoE 2 to the market by like picking the reward type that they would like to get as much. Yeah. So in PoE 1, it's like if currency is becoming more valuable, you can respond to that by farming leagues that give you more currency. And if uniques are becoming like more valuable, then you can respond to that by farming more uniques and that kind of stuff. So there was like a little bit of an aim here to make it so that the league's a little bit more like by picking what league you're also picking more of what types of rewards you want to get a little bit better, which can mean that like if there's a gap in the market, you can fill it that way. And that.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that they talking about balance and skills. All this is toward end game. End game.
Should result in like more price. We're getting total economist here right now, but it'll mean that people can respond to the price signals that the market is giving them by farming the correct thing to like get the thing that like the market is valuing more right now.
So we're actually seeing that phenomenal difference between the two games on like the economic statistic level.
Well, I think it's not so much looking at the statistics, but just realizing that like without the ability for players to do that, it can mean that you can get endless inflation in one thing because people aren't able to respond to that by effectively getting more of that thing to drive the prices down again. So that kind of stuff actually can matter. And so one of the things we have been doing is making it so that here's a league you can farm more to get more of this thing, and like even with regard to something like Breach, because you can pick there's mods for picking what type of womb gift is going to drop more often. You can be like, okay, if currency is more valuable right now, I'm going to pick that one. That's the I'm going to have that tree be the one that I'm getting more of, and that kind of stuff. So it's like giving a little bit more control over what the rewards are, which should actually lead to a bit more price stabilization here as well. But we'll see how that works. Like I don't know whether that's actually one of the things, but It does seem related to the fact that in PoE 2, since rarity effectively boosts everything, it meant that that mechanic wasn't letting it be one of the levers that people could use to respond to the market that way.
Yeah, exactly. You were just going to do it because it was clear.
Sorry, guys, for turning into an economist all of a sudden, but it's like
I like it.
It's one of those things.
I think it's just ignoring the whole economy aspect. It just gives players agency to target what type of loot they want anyway, right?
Yeah,
How is that not just straight up better for like, here's what I need, here's what I want, I'm going to go get it, and here's the different levers I have to be able to achieve that, be it via choosing a different league, be it by choosing different multi-choice atlas tree things within that league, be it by picking a certain master and taking a certain Atlas Master skill that changes the rewards of one of the leagues. Like, there's many different axes here, which is very, very cool to just be like, all right, we're going to try and get the best out of the uniques today, or I'm going to try and target farm this or that. And like, it's just a win, even if you're just like, I don't care about inflation and all of the trade and all of that. Like, it's just good. So win-win on that regard, hopefully, assuming
but
the economy
in saying that doesn't necessarily mean that we're like happy with how item find stuff is. Like, there's still might be changes.
Yeah, correct.
It sounds like you're still eager to replace that.
Yeah, I am.
Given that you can find the
it's one of those things that's surprisingly hard, alongside Leech, alongside decks and various other things like the forever topics that always seem to come back and to haunt us every time.
Yes, keep you awake at night. Yeah. Since we're talking economy and inflation, is that something you guys are kind of like interested in looking at in some way, like sinks for exalts or divines, or kind of managing that sort of stuff, where you just kind of like see what happens?
This is a weird one, because some of the perceptions that people have about like what each thing means can be backwards from what people expect. But I do think that that's gonna come down to that sort of ability for people to respond to the market. I think that's going to help. But as I said, we'll see. If it doesn't help with that stuff, then we'll revisit it and see what happens.
More sinks for exalts is an inevitability for sure. It will occur at some. It just kind of has to. Sinks for divines. I don't know, find Mage Blood, see what happens.
I was like, you have something in the works for that one. I know how you do.
Good luck.
Yeah, wait and see with that. On the topic of crafting, are there any, with all this new stuff, are there any changes to like the existing stuff of crafting, like how the crafting systems work, the currencies work? How happy have you been with the introduction of Greater and Perfect orbs?
I would just say that Greater and Perfect are too, especially Perfect is just too common. Like, we're probably going to have to nerf the drop rates of those.
Transmutes and orgs. Yeah.
And because effectively it's sort of being a problem in that kind of early in the end game crafting is like probably a little bit too easy. So we'll probably nerf the drop rates of some of that stuff a little bit. I think it's probably just a little bit too far. Like, not to make them like impossible.
Mostly transmutes and augments.
Mostly transmutes and augments. So it was just making it a little bit too easy.
Yeah.
So
I guess the outcome of that is that they become the norm like immediately, right?
Sure. So there'll probably be a change there. But I think that it was just making it a little bit too easy to progress in that early in game part there.
Okay. All right. Now I'm going to hit you with, I usually do this at the end, but right now, a surprise QOL UX round. So you've got this in-game build planner, which is an awesome addition. Very excited and kind of surprised that you did that as well. It's a huge leap over what you tested in the past. That kind of went away for a while, which was like the ability to plan passives.
Yeah.
So I guess that was the reason why that went away, since you had a bigger project in mind. I'm curious, when you take a different angle on this, what don't you want to do with this? Like, where is the line of where you don't want this to? Because this is something that helps like players a lot. It's very in-game.
Right. Well, some people have asked us, like, are you going to suggest builds? Like, is GGG going to be like, here's some builds to play and that kind of thing? And I don't want to be doing that. I do want to leave it to the community to decide what is that stuff. So that means we're not going to be like, what I don't want it to be is like, okay, you like join the game for the first time and the game's like, pick a build, but that isn't how it should work. Like, it needs to be that that most, look, I know that a lot of players wanted to follow build guides, and that's absolutely fine. We want to give as good of tools as we can for that. But at the same time, like, I still want the desirable theory of the game to be that you join the game having never played it before and you just explore and find the stuff that's interesting. But then, like, if you've already,
that's where the problem is. And I understand his statement. His statement is, hey, you join the game and you figure out exactly, the exploration. That's what, I am doing the exploration. I'm figuring out what powers I want to play. And I'm trying to enjoy the game, playing through the game with what powers that I want, et cetera, et cetera. You don't get that in PoE 2. It is just not there. You have to play meta to beat the bosses. You have to play specific powers to beat the bosses. If you do not play those specific powers to beat the bosses, you don't progress. You can go through and respec your character, pulling hey, I don't understand why I can't do enough DPS to take the boss down. You destroy the whole entire tree, spending all the money you've gotten, redoing all the tree to try to, let me just increase my spell damage or something. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not doing spell damage, enough spell damage nodes to be able to, beat the boss. Maybe that's where that's where I made the mistake, right? So you pull all the money that you got, you pull everything out, and you go that route to try to get trying to get to that to try to get to that point so you can beat the boss. And then you're sitting there and you're like, this didn't work either. Then you're like, okay, well, let me go ahead and let me change the support gems that I got. Maybe the support gems that I have are not up to par. I need to find other support gems. Let me find these other support gems and put the other support gems in, which will and see if that'll get it. That didn't work either. And so by the time that you're sitting there and you're like, okay, forget it, you get so frustrated trying to beat the boss, trying to beat that boss. Take you 2 or 3 days trying to beat that boss with the power that you want. So how is what he's saying how is what he's saying an actual active thing? It's not. It's like, I cannot explore. I cannot try to design something for myself because it doesn't work. So prime example is, let's say we have what's the name of that power? Prime example, let's say we got certain powers that we want to use. Oh, well, we can't really use that power until we get toward the end game. Then at the end game, I have everything I need to put in place so that power now becomes devastatingly awesome, because at the end game, I'm able to do these particular things, buy these particular rune slots, get these particular powers so that they function together enough that I actually start to boom, boom. I'm just decimating things on the screen. Yeah, that's great end game, but what do you do to get to the end game? Where is that enjoyability, that exploration, the determination, the things that you use to determine, hey, this is awesome, to the end game? That's where I think they're failing, is not the end game pieces. The end game balance and the end game situation, it's different than the exploration. He wants exploration. You can't explore. I need meta to get to the end game.
Going to a website to find a build guide. Then at the point you've done that, like, we might as well make that as easy as possible for you to do and follow and all that sort of thing. So
we've actually made sure to keep it hidden unless you know to do it.
So unless it's basically
you don't open your passive tree and it's like load files, and you're like, what the heck is going on here?
Now I should mention that we didn't put it in the live stream because we weren't like 100% sure that it would be there, but it is being worked on right now, that there's going to be like a one-click solution for getting a build from a community website, right? So the idea is, like, a community website can put a link, and when you click the link, it'll just add it to your account.
Like with filters, like what?
Yeah, exactly, like with filters, right? So then it can just add it to your account, and that way you don't have to screw around with files or anything. And that's important for console players as well, because they obviously can't put files on the console. Yep. So basically they'll be able to add it to their account just like an item filter, and then now it's just going to appear there, and
trust.
Then stuff will work.
I know right now you have to have a real trust in your filter creator. because they could just hide mirrors. So hopefully, hopefully your build creator,
because he's the
hopefully your
guy,
build
we trust
creators,
him, right?
Yeah.
So April 1st, your build creator just completely just changes your build and randomly for a day.
But the documentation for how to do the build files should be going up today-ish, and that means that what I'd expect to happen, although obviously it's up to them, like the various community projects like Path of Building and that kind of stuff, to all like adopt that and make it so that you can so that you can export a build from those tools, and then then the creators can create websites showing those off and that kind of thing, and like that kind of stuff is what we'd expect to.
Yeah, it just improves the actual like physical act of like having a build guide and implementing that and using it for people who are. That's awesome.
And if we also find that like build creators are interested in adding notes to more places, like we tried to get everything we could think of, but there might be places where you're like, because the idea is like anywhere where a creator wants to be able to say like, here's some more tutorialization that they want to add. The idea is that they can kind of do that.
I love that.
Like that's the sort of.
I can tell people to upgrade their life flasks for life flasks that heal more life. Than the
for sure,
one.
Exactly like the example we had in the video.
Love it. It's very true. People overlook it. So another one from our outstanding minutes is the mouse and keyboard and controller hot swap.
I know, and it's becoming a running joke at this point of like promising it every league and then not delivering it. And the annoying thing about it is that it's one of those things that like someone will work on it for like there's a surprising amount of code to do to change it, but then every time it's like the guy like someone.
Okay, I'm gonna skip this part too because I think it's I really don't care.
Topic, something that comes up somewhat often is this idea of like, so you've got new skills getting unlocked all the way through into like late Act 4. And I always thought of this personally as like a good thing, right? Like you've got a nice steady progression of new stuff to play with. But recently I saw some interesting reasons why people don't like this. And that's the idea that you sometimes spend hours leveling a build that it just isn't your build. Like you play all the way through to Act 4 on some other build that you don't want to play until you get your top tier ice skill there. So I have to imagine you're like a fan of having that like long tail of progression. But there are other reasons why you kind of like want this spread. And how do you feel the idea of compressing, I don't know, maybe the main skills down to the first 30 levels or something?
That's actually not something that I've had come up before in terms of being a problem like that. So that's very interesting to think about.
I've seen. I prefer the slow unlocks personally. That's my style. I prefer.
It's certainly as a first-time player, you want it to be that you kind of get that it feels like your build is still progressing as you get through the game. But it is interesting, of course, to think if you want to just speed through and you want to play a certain build. Like that is certainly something
even on like the experimentation level. So like when you respec to a character at endgame, it's like just trash. It feels bad generally to do that because you didn't have that evolution of that build over time. And I feel like maybe if you're swapping over at level 52 to your actual build then, because that's when you get the skill, then you don't actually really have much of that progression evolution of your build to test.
It might be more of a matter of just swapping where some skills are given.
I think it also can
be that we're not necessarily it's not necessarily clear when we're creating the build like what some skills might end up being ones that feel like main skills in that way.
Yeah, I imagine that needs
so it's probably likely that that's like one of the issues there is just like moving things around where they start. It's just that we don't want something that's like too flashy to be something you get really, really early, because otherwise it feels kind of strange in the power curve. Like you do need to feel like that level of progression of like the skills get more epic. So
I imagine like it's pretty okay to have things like those glory skills and stuff like that right down the bottom there.
Well, certainly.
Like
the last row tends to always be those sort of ultimate type things that, like in theory, those are not things that your entire build is like made around. So it's more just sort of extra.
The examples that I get see brought up usually aren't that sort of thing, but rather like what's that ice skill that shoots projectiles everywhere? That round spinny one. Winter something.
Is it Winter Orb? Is that the name?
Or Eye of Winter?
Eye of Winter, that's the one. Yeah, Eye of Winter is an example that I see get brought up because like it is on that last tier and it is kind of a main skill and it's not really like a big cooldown skill.
Point. That one honestly might be able to come down.
All right, so that's something to
maybe.
I suspect there's some tweaks to the levels. There's some reorganization. There's possibly. I mean, I could see a thing where also once we have the full campaign in place. Maybe there's a point where we're like, okay, you want every skill by, and then we come up with a new point. But
I honestly suspect the rearranging is the solution there.
Nice. Okay, sure. That's good to hear. I think that'll be good for these people who feel like they don't get to play their build for a long time there.
Right.
Kind of carrying on with the topic of skills, builds, and balance, we have the two new ascendancies, which you seem to be getting a little bit like with the classes. They're following a similar trajectory of getting a little bit more a little bit extra, a little bit more high effort each time. So,
Well, as we kind of learned from PoE1, like we have changed some, but ascendancy classes are kind of like just forever things.
Yep.
You know, we obviously have a whole alternate classes league and stuff like that, which is cool. But we don't. On rare occasions, we're obviously going to change the balance, change kind of what the skills are, but who those characters are and the identity of that, most of them are going to remain fixed for like a long time.
Yep.
You'll get rebalances, you'll get changes, like obviously, right? We've done that a lot, but like, I wouldn't expect the Deadeye to despawn anytime soon as an identity. If ever, just by the way, just and so like they just need to be high effort, and they need to be something that we are like something that comes up a lot, and you'll notice it in these two. Like now, for every single beast boss, the Spirit Walker,
yes,
we have to make a tamed version.
This is what I keep saying. Like,
for
why do you
every
do this to
pair
yourself?
for every mod on gloves, of which we just added a bunch of alloys. And there's, it goes on and on. We have to. It's a maintenance. But the thing is, as I said, these are forever classes. These are identities. These are very important, and so it's like always very worth it. But now we just a bit of a rant here about those beasts, because it's come up a bit recently where I'm like, what is a beast? Are the new pinnacle bosses beasts? And I'm just like, oh no, what's going on here? What are we doing? Like, there was
The
the
shapeshifted one who turns into a werewolf, a beast when they're in shapeshift form.
wow,
for example.
exactly. So,
What, you going to tame the count? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, only in second form.
only in second phase, yeah, maybe, or maybe because
I mean, cool.
or maybe specifically. Nah, I don't know. I don't know where we're getting with that. I don't know. The point is, it gets a little bit complicated. It's like, where does it end? And how much you're talking about, visibility. How much of your screen are you willing to have be a gigantic pinnacle boss? And thing is, like, changing the scale is not actually as trivial. Like,
Yeah, I was like, I thought you make them smaller, but then I saw like the giant bird boss. I'm like, nope, that looks like a normal size boss right there.
I think that's fun, but we did limit it to 1. We did internally have it that people were running around with 5 for a while, and it was a little bit off, a little bit out of control. But
It's good that they actually think about some of those things, but from what I'm getting from this and from what I'm hearing so far, there is very little, and I mean very little, that is making me go, hey, this is gonna be great to play. Yay. So we got 20 days. We got 20 days from today until the league starts. So that's 20 days from today till the league starts.
quite fun, but I'm so excited to just see how honestly, it's such a weird thing to say. I'm so excited for how much work we've created for ourselves in the future.
I'm very glad to hear that. That is good. That was the right mindset, I think. Excellent. So with the Tame Beast thing, like when you get your first ascendancy, that Tame Beast gem is actually a higher level, though. Like, is this something you?
Yeah, we are. We do have a thing that we're going to do about that.
Okay.
There's a solution, I believe, that we had for that one.
Yeah, all right.
But yeah.
And with this being the idea of being a big single beast, and a lot of the time, like, I don't know that bosses compared to say like aura beasts don't have a bunch of utility stuff on them. Like, I'm sure there'll be some, but not as much exactly. So I imagine you want these to actually be things that kill stuff. So how do you make the big single minion work?
We have, like, honestly, I think it might have even been, we've tripled the damage, I think, of tamed beasts. Just FYI.
Cool.
We're doing a few changes around that because we want like damaging companion builds outside of obviously just Wolf Zerg to be more of a thing.
Wolf
so
Zerg?
we're doing a
yeah, whatever. All right, I'm done with that one. Let's go over here. Let's see what these guys are talking about.
Well, if you think about it, they've essentially structured the first 50 hours of in-game mapping now.
Yeah.
Or so. I don't know. I could be wrong about the amount of hours, but they've structured the first massive chunk of the game where you now have the main story quest line, which is the fortress. What are we calling that? Fortress, I guess?
Yeah.
Fortress Widow.
there's so many.
Um,
A castle.
yeah, and then the castle, yeah, whatever you want to call it. But the main story quest line is that fortress now, and then you've got every league mechanic. And like you said, it's completely surrounds the beginning. It's all pre-generated. It's all fixed interests, and yeah, you just go in the direction that you want to go. You know, you want to go do Abyss, Breach, Delirium, Ritual, Temple. It's all there at the beginning, and it has its own quest line that you can either
What's up?
start and then go back or whatever.
Let me put this on it. So my thoughts on the new patch. The new patch is got a lot of things for end game. All right, and so just like that one guy Steel Mage was just talking about, is that they've got a lot for is after you get through the campaign for you to do, but they haven't addressed a lot of the problems that exist in the game getting you to the end game. So I like that the end game is getting a lot of cool things, et cetera, et cetera. But getting to the end game is where I think that they're still failing. Yeah, you're still going to be forced into meta builds, it looks like. It looks like you're going to have to play a meta build to get to the end game. And then after you get to the end game, you get more agency to do what you want to do. Now, when I was looking at the Q&A, they kind of said something about that. They kind of said something about that because one of the things that they were talking about when they were talking about that was there are some what did the guy say? You know, exactly. I'm trying to get his exact words, but pretty much what he was saying was, "Hey, we want this agency to be able to do these things." And Ziggy was talking about, you know, where can we start moving are the powers in the right slots? Because it's like I have to go all the way to the end game before I have powers that are the power that I want to use. So I'm using other powers just to get to the end game. And then when I get closer to the end game, oh, guess what? Now I have access to these powers to utilize to be bam. Now I'm able to do what I need to do. And so he brought it up and they were like, yeah, they might need to rebalance or not. He didn't say rebalance. We might need to move to shuffle the powers around so that they, so that instead of at level 80, I have access to this, I can now get access earlier. Which then becomes a situation of, then you got progression, et cetera, et cetera. And that's the problem I feel with the game right now, is that the progression of your character is no longer there. It's I level my character, then get to the end game, then I adjust my character so that I can play what I want to play. And so with an ARPG, which I don't, ARPGs, you're supposed to, over the time frame from the start of the character to the end of the character, hold on a second. From the start of will there be another gauntlet? Yeah, there'll be another gauntlet. There'll be another one. Ooh, YouTube is having problems. Hey, guess what? My YouTube is having issues. Okay, yeah, I see. All right, cool, no problem. But where my issue is, there will be another gauntlet, not for PoE 2, because I don't think he does gauntlets for PoE 2. He only does gauntlets for PoE 1. But PoE 1 is going to be around for another 3 months, maybe 4 months before they cut it and get ready to go for the next one. So because you got to think about it like this, May 29th comes out the new Path of Exile 2. So they're going to give you at least 2 months for that. So that's gonna be June, July. So in July they'll come out with a new PoE 1 league around about July, and then so July, August, September, then you've got a new PoE 2 league, which they said they're going to be pushing off, so it won't be a PoE 2 league. It'll be release of 1.0. And that so there I'm this is just my speculation. They're going to release Path of Exile 2 in December. 1.0 will be in December. That's just what I'm thinking. But that's just the the things. I still have concerns. I still have concerns. He was talking about agency to explore your character and play your character and everything like that. That Jonathan was like, hey, blah blah, but I just don't see it when I play the game. I don't see how I can play a character and explore, and that character becomes stronger and stronger and takes out, and then becomes really awesome to take out the bad guys, etc. The idea that happens is where I don't know if he really understands his own game to the point where normal players actually have the ability. Because that's one major problem for me with Path of Exile 2 is I see it as, yeah, they're trying, but it's not there. So that's where my issue comes in is you're trying to do X, but you're not achieving what you're trying to do. So this is Path of Exile 2. I did say that I was going to try to do a little bit of gameplay and everything like that, but I want to kind of show you guys what I mean by gameplay. Okay, so if you notice, this was the last league. The last league I had an Infernalist that I started. I got to Act 2 and I couldn't beat the boss playing the Infernalist the way that I want to play. So let me go ahead and let's just pull this character up. Uh-oh, somebody got a dungeon going. I got in. She started a dungeon. I had to get in. But, okay, so I wanted to be an Infernalist. I'm looking for skill effect duration. I'm looking for cast speed. I'm looking for skill effect durations, because what I'm looking for is, and I grabbed the Infernal Hound. That's my initial start. Now, what is it? Nope. I'm trying to find the keys, because the keys change. There you go. So I have Skeletal Warriors, Raging Summoning Spirits. I got this guy that's the Arsonist, and I got Embers of Full Sate. Okay, so I want to be Embers of Full Sate. I want to run around with Embers of Full Sate, and then just kind of have my minions as a back piece. And I want to do more of, I want to get eventually, I'm looking for is, I'm looking to do Full Sate, so Full Sate does more damage. Now, let me show y'all. Go back in here. So full save is my primary power. I got unleash so I can get more of them to pop up. I have compressed duration so it shoots faster. I have considered casting so that I do more damage with the spell when I use it. PoE 2 is pretty. Do not get me wrong. I love you. Right, Cheapest. You are right. PoE 2 is just beautiful. So, but let's go here. So my whole thing So my whole thing is I want to burn people alive, right? So as you can see, not a problem going through and destroying mobs, okay? Good DPS, you know. So, as you can see, no problem killing mobs. Yes, it works. Don't get me wrong. It works on everything but the boss. If I continue down the path of running this and getting to the boss, and fight the boss, you'll understand exactly where my problem comes in with PoE 2. I do great against mobs, against everything else. I get to the boss. So look, this is a level 32. I'm level 35. So this is a level 32 area. So as long as I'm able to get through the mobs and everything like that. Then when I get to the last guy, the boss, I've spent hours trying to beat that boss. So I can't beat him with my power. The way that the power is right now, the amount of damage output that I have, I just can't beat the boss. Oh, I'll take it there. You know, don't get me wrong. This is why I pulled it up. I pulled it up to show. You hope they ninja buffed it and they kill, you know. Well, don't forget, the new league hasn't come out. This is actually the old league. This is still the old league. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna keep running. Got the checkpoint. Now we get to the boss.
You again. The fool under the hooded one's sway. Do you even know what he is? No matter. You'll find my king far more capable than Count Geonor. My king, take the power you were promised. Put an end to this nuisance.
Yeah, the items ID automatically now.
Bow before your king.
Do you see how much damage I'm doing to the boss?
We will have what is ours. The manifest will pay. The era of the Farragut, we will have what is ours for my people. Reprisal. Wind, aid us. Justice. The manifest will pay. For my people, the era of the Farragut is now! The Farragut is now! Of the desert! We are the storm! We are vengeance! For my people! We will have what is ours!
Glorious.
So pretty much this is the reason why I hate PoE 1 or PoE 2. I cannot beat the boss with the powers that I would like. Now, what I could do is I could respec my whole entire build into a different configuration and then I would be able to beat the boss. So in other words, if I decide to remove everything out of here, just remove all of these nodes, everything all the way, respec all this out, respec all of these out, then spec into like here for minion damage and over here for minion damage, and then do a just straight minion build. Straight minion build. Remove these, keep that node. I think I can keep this node. If not, then I remove that node and try to go over here to get myself a little bit more, nope, I would remove that just that I leave this. But what I would do is I would invest in these guys. So I take everything off, invest into nothing but the skeletal arsonist, and then just let them pepper the boss to do as much damage as possible, and I could get through. But that's not the build that I'm shooting for. I'm shooting to use Ember Fulsade and doing certain things with Ember Fulsade that I can't do all, you know, there are some other things that are enhance my damage later on, which is when I set people on fire and magnitude set them on fire, I'm going to execute another an automatic power that's going to do some more damage, but I can't do it. There's a price for respecking. There is a price for respecking. So if I decide to respec, I go to this guy, refund the passives. So let's say I refund all my passives all the way to here. You know, I take out all my passes.
How can I be of
How can I perfect myself?
I got to pull that gem out. So right here, I go from 64,000 down to 61,000. I can respec and pull all this out, but my problem with doing that is I'm not playing the character I want to play. I'm playing the meta configuration so I can get to the end game so that I can try to respec back into this to try to see if it'll work inside the end game. Or to try, and then that becomes a problem because then you spent all your money at the end game. So when I get to level 90 or level 70, around about level 70 or so, when I'm into the end game, I've got to spend all my points, all my power to pull all my points and everything to try to pull everything out to make a functional build. Well, if it's not a functional build, how am I supposed to know that? I need to so what happens is you're stuck between you respec your, because this happened in the like 02, I think, or 03. That's when I didn't get it. So what happens is I spend all my money and everything to go to the build that I want to play. I don't know enough about how that build plays because I've never progressed with it. I'm just automatically just throwing everything and changing everything, and then I run out of money or I run out of resources. So I run out of the what's it called? Hold up. I run out of all of this, transmutes, augments, the regals and everything like that, trying to make the gear that I want. And so I run out of all of that because I'm spending it all revamping my character. So I spend all of it. And then when I spend it all, guess what? I then try to run the character and it can't even survive in maps. Then it's like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? And then you got to try to figure out a way to make money to respec everything back out to go back into the meta build so you can make some cash so you can continue to try to go through and so you can respec again into the other character to try to get it to work. It's so much not fun. Hey, are we dead yet? I just saw you, man. I missed the dungeon. Somebody put a dungeon up. I didn't even look at the thing, but hey, it looks like a dungeon got started. You know, I'm gonna start my own dungeon. Hold for a second. Oh, somebody already started a dungeon. I'm gonna join. But that's where the problem is, Sheepish, is that it gets to the PoE 2 just does not provide you the agency to be able to play through the campaign, to be able to play the character you want to play. Now, the shaman. So the druid shaman Oh, you don't want Are We Dead Yet's opinion, because Are We Dead Yet will automatically go crazy on this. He'd be like, "This is the worst game ever. I hate it with all my heart." And you don't want that. You don't want that. You just kind of want to get past that. So this is the last league. So they came out with the druid last league, right? So I was playing the druid, and I got to a certain point that I ran into some issues. The druid was still pretty good functional capability, etc., etc. But so if I play the druid, I was playing the druid and I was running it as a what you want to call it? So I'm into the I'm out of Act 4. Oh no, I'm still in Act 4. I'm still trying to clear Act 4, but it's a much better let's say much better play style configuration than the other one. So that was one of the things that it's kind of just came up to be. I learned a lot of different things to be, but it was getting to the point where I was like, okay, I was getting kind of bored with trying to play it the way that, way I wanted to. So I'm playing it.
Lower the anchor.
One of the good things about it is I'm running.
I'm on it. What's your step, eh?
So I got companions.
Wild spawn.
I need more time for that. I'm not ready yet. I need more time for that.
So this is actually a really good. It's been handling really well.
I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. No mana!
But so this is it still handles pretty well, even though all we did is talking all kind of junk. It takes three moves to kill a white pack, things like that. It still handles pretty good, and I'm still able to take care of a lot of the bosses, things like that. It's not a necessarily bad power. I figured out my power. I figured out one of my problems. Okay, took me a while to figure this out, but I just figured out where one of the powers you need to use.
Balance restored.
So that's one of the powers that I forgot where it existed, but there's a power that actually allows you to do extra damage, and everything like that. But either way it goes, this is an actual functional kind of build. You can get through a lot of the bosses with this one. Then I went to try to do this guy, which is this guy was yeah. No. I'm not faulting you. Are we dead yet? I'm not saying that there's I'm not faulting you on on not wanting to play, because there are problems with the game, and it's major problems with the game. And I just Sheepish, I just showed him just a second ago one of the major problems. So I don't know if you saw it, but he was like, well, go, I was trying to show him my, what's it called? My Infernalist. And I was like, I'm going to do Infernalist with full save, right? So I went all the round to get the things that I need to make full save hit real hard, do real good damage, etc., etc. But when I got to the boss, I can't beat the boss. It's just not enough damage, not enough capability to beat the boss. This build, I only did.
Hey, don't
This build is called is my plant build, my plant mage. It's a good build. It does what it, Let me figure out how to play this again. What's that? What is this power? Oh, that's Power Siphon. Okay. And so you got Thrashing Vines as well, which is another good thing. But this build, I can beat bosses with. I can. So this is a great build. I got tired and didn't want to go through the campaign again. Loot filter scares me every time. Sorry, man. Sorry. Take what the PoE streamers are saying about this with a giant pile of salt. Their livelihood depends on the ability to draw crowds to their stream. If nobody likes the game and they don't show up to watch it, they lose their income. You won't see any PoE streamers saying bad things about PoE 2. Yeah, I can get, yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. I have issues, and it's my own personal issues. My own personal issues is I like to play certain ways. And those certain ways are what I get enjoyment out of playing a game. Oh, hold up. Can I make it? Can I make it? I didn't spell it right. Did I make it? Yes, I did. Okay, so, my personal enjoyment is playing the game, fighting creatures, being mobs, my character getting stronger, going through that process. Are we dead yet? Genkenstein, they always be getting on me, especially like when I'm even in PoE 1, they get on me. That's like, hey, run meta. You'll make a ton of money and you can do whatever you want. No, I don't want to play that. There are things that I want to play. It's like, hey, try this. I don't play very like Are We Dead Yet is a prime example of, hey, you need to play was it Poison Concoction and that's the best power. He can play Poison Concoction. I can't. I have problems with Poison Concoction. I have a problem with targeting and being able to hit things. And Poison Concoction, one of the best things about Poison Concoction is when you can stack and you can shotgun the poison overlap and stuff like that. Great. It's powerful. It's wonderful. I can't play it. But Are We Dead Yet? It's like, oh, you should use Poison Concoction, blah, 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 blah. And he always constantly does that, but he doesn't understand that I can't play that power. It's like me and any strike power. I can't play any strike power without I can't play any strike power without Ancestral Call, because I have a tendency of being too far away from the swinging when I'm too far away from the mob for it to actually hit the mob. But Ancestral Call takes care of that for me. So even if I'm out of range, it strikes the bad guy, and I might lose 1/4 of my damage, but at least I'm damaging the guy if I use Ancestral Call. I might lose, I lose that damage, but I'm at least able to do damage. Doing damage is better than doing none. And see, there we go again. You see, Are We Dead Yet again? He's like, play this. Now, Are We Dead Yet knows, and he constantly says the same thing over again, which is kind of annoying, but I've played that before. I don't like that play style. I really don't. I have not liked that play style. It doesn't work for me. It just feels bad for me when I'm running that play style. So I just don't play. I can't play that play style. But he will constantly say over and over again, because he's done said it like 3 times. He said it yesterday 2 times. He said it today again. Hey, play this particular power set and you'll be good. I understand that you're trying to troll and stuff like that, but it is annoying over and over again, knowing that I'm not gonna play it. You are telling the truth. I'm not denying it. Play these particular powers and you get through to the end of the game. That is a truth statement. Now, the last character I was playing, because I wanted to play it just to see. Just repeating yourself in case you forgot. That's funny. So the other character that I want to play, or the other one that I want to run, is this one. And then if we look at it, what I'm planning to run is, I wanted to run the permafrost bolts. Okay. I want to run permafrost bolts. Icy bolts that fragment and freeze enemies. Cause this is one of those powers that I'm like, hey, this might be cool.
Freeze! Horrid insect!
So I chose permafrost bolts to test it to see if it's worth anything. And so one of the things that I had realized when I started playing it was, I don't like permafrost bolts. So this is what I usually play with, is this one. And I usually do armor-piercing rounds with high velocity. So one of the problems I have right now is I can't do high velocity rounds. And so because I can't do high velocity rounds, because I chose to do permafrost bolts. Permafrost bolts are okay. I just don't, it just didn't feel right to me. So I got this far in the game, and then I was like, okay, I'm out. You know, it's like, I'm out. I might try it later. And the reason why there was a old man Alzheimer's and all that. You're funny. There was a build, like a video when they came out with this league, and one of the things that they were showing was this really cool kind of power configuration. And let's see if I can find it. Joey Last of the Druids. Nope, nope, that's not what I wanted. No, 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 no. There we go. Let's go here. So they had at one time the video. Was this it? Is this the original one?
Corey!
So what happened was They had these powers that you could see, and it looked really, really good. I mean, I'm not even going to deny. I was like, I want to play that power. Where is it? There we go. Let's do that. Come on, come on. There was a mercenary video that they had where it looked really good.
The true Lokuramakoi will rise.
But there, I can't find the video, but there was a, I think it was on the release video for this last league, and because it was the in the release video for the last league announcements. There we go. Maybe that's it. No, that's not it. That it? Nope. But either way it goes, the last of the druids. There we go. This is it. They had this really cool looking thing that you could, that was like, it was like, oh, that's actually pretty cool. Let's see if this is it.
Well,
Yeah, the druid. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. Yeah, this just shows the druid stuff. Okay, so that's not what we're looking for. There was it's hard to find things after it's already gone.
the palace of Queen Atway through Tiny Temple. And so
Oriani, give unto me your desire. At last, fulfill my...
That's not it. Well, either way it goes, let's just talk, let me just put it to you this way. There was a mercenary power that was like, it was like hail of something. It was like really cool looking mercenary power. and it was like, you know, you could add different things to get to it. So I was like, I wanna run that. I wanna do that. So I started off with the mercenary, and I wanted to try running the try running the mercenary that away, and I ran into no, this isn't exactly what I want to do. And then it was like, do I really want to go through the campaign again? Do I want to try to run this guy through the campaign, knowing I'm going to have issues, trying to play him and figure the tree out, knowing that I'm going to run into the bottleneck of hitting a boss and not be able to beat the boss. So at that point, I quit the league. I was like, I'm done. I just can't go any further. I'm just out. My primary character that I want, Ember Fullsade, I can't do it. I wanted to do Ember Fullsade, can't do it. Okay? The wolf, I did realize by the time I got to 50, into the 54 spot, right? You realize that, to do more damage, you really shouldn't just go all out frozen wolf configuration. You should really kind of try to do a rotational back and forth between it and the bear to do the mass amount of damages and stuff like that. I was able to get through most of the bosses because I'm able to freeze the bosses and able to beat the boss that way. So I could have gotten to the end game with this, but I do take a lot of damage. Mitigation wasn't that great and everything, but I couldn't spec out of spec into mitigation type things because I needed every power slot to be able to freeze bad guys. Not gonna play this one, Went to my Oracle guy, and it was like, hey, I'm gonna do the Oracle. I'm gonna be using plant-based spells. I'm gonna make this guy, my plant mage. It worked out pretty well, but I got to Act 3, and I'm like, I still got Act 4. I still got the interlude to go through. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be crazy. Okay. So this is the problem. This is the overall problem with PoE 2. The overall problem with PoE 2 is I cannot get into it because I cannot get a character that I'm like, this is gonna be good, and I'm able to, play with this character all the way to the end game. I missed it. Oh, sorry, Sheepish. Sorry, I missed it again. But this is where we're going to have to try to figure out a character style and play style that I'm going to want to play all the way into the end game. And then after you get to the end game, there's no more, there's nothing else to play. It's like, okay, I don't want to play any other character because it's so hard to get through the campaign to play another character. There you go. I joined that one. Woohoo! I got into the dungeon. All right. So, but these are the things that we have to kind of consider when we're talking about what we're going to do for PoE 2. I'm going to play it. I've made the decision to play it, but I need to make the decision early enough in the game that I switch out and get out of the game as fast as possible. When I run into the bottleneck and everything like that, just go ahead and be like, okay, I'm done, and just not even try to redo redo it and try to force play. Force play is not going to work out. So one of the things that I was doing was, or one of the things that I'm thinking is this character. I've always had a successful character running the sorceress.
Arrogance has led you here, and arrogance keeps you on those gallows. Speak your piece.
So with the sorceress, you have to use WASD, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why.
They will suffer for this humiliation.
By the first ones, you're alive. I'm glad to see another living soul.
Your leg.
Now I would appreciate it if you could. Reach, Leofel. Find the pillar.
Death comes swiftly here. I should keep moving. Power can hide where you least expect. Inspiring.
Apparently I could do that one.
No mana! Return to your grave! His sickness controls him. The first step on my chosen path. He bore the mark of corruption. I know it.
So there we go.
Delton, please.
Here, there
So-
is a small trace of hope in the air.
One of the things that we can do is this one gives you more survivability, and you can go down the survivability route, or you can go ahead and go down the I need more damage route. So I usually go down the more damage route because I definitely, feel that PoE 2 has a problem with damage.
Renly's
Damage
the man.
output.
Well, I've no Smith.
Hey, look at
There's
that.
a
So
beast
now
of
we got an
particular
uncut
dark
skill
power
gem.
stalking us out in the valley. Now, if you could channel your... Till next time.
His burden is heavy.
Welcome to the camp for all this. I fear this land's.
Her mind tends to wander. She reminds me of one of my sisters.
So what skill gems do we have? We have Ice Nova, and so this is one of the first powers is Ice Nova, right? Then you got Frost Darts. And then after you got Frost Darts, you have Frost Bolt. So in the end, I want to go Frost Bolt. That's what I normally do. I usually go to Frost Bolt. And so and then after you go Frost Bolt, the things that you want to do is you want to do now what I like to do is this one until I can get to this one. So this one you got to be level 14 to get to and everything, but it's a tier 5. So then you have Frost Bolts. And after you get Frost Bolts, you want to either have Mana Tempest and then Frost Wall. Frost Wall is really good later on. And then Comet is one that you want to get when you're level 41 and you're really high. You'll do that one. Then you're going to put in the a couple of the other ones, which is ailments. What is it? Cast on ailment. COCA, I think is what it's called. Cast on, no, COA. Which what you're going to do is you're going to be then setting it up so that when you're freezing things, and you can't, or when you freeze things and put chill on things, it's going to build to be able to cast Comet. And then Comet's going to come down and do a lot of damage. And then what you want to do is you want to get the Nova, you want to get Frost Bolt to Nova. So you're going to be running around casting Frost Bolt in a Nova that's going to be hitting everything on the screen. When you get enough cold ailments, it's going to drop the Comet out of the air. That used to work. I don't know if it works now, but it used to work, and it used to be really good. Everybody was using Cast on Crit, but Cast on Crit doesn't do exactly what a lot of people think. So but this is the things that you have to kind of figure out what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, will it work, will it not work, things like that. And stuff like that. So I believe, and I don't want to play this right now, because if I play it right now, by the time it gets to by the time the 29th happens, I'll be burnt out and I won't want to play. But that's pretty much where we are with PoE 2. PoE 2 does seem like they're going to make a lot of changes. Will those changes be effective? Will those changes be awesome? Will those changes function? I'm not sure. And That's where my problem is. They do not get. They say that they're giving you a lot of agency, a lot of discovery. Oh, you'll be able to discover and be able to play and enjoy the game. But the way that they have the game set, it doesn't work. Now, if you notice, all of my gear that I'm wearing, all of the gear that I'm wearing has what you want to call it?
Quickly. Go.
I've got the best gear that I possibly can get currently. There's nothing I could really do. I mean, I'm still trying to get better gear for this character, but it's just not getting to what I need. Nah, Hutch, I'm not really excited for the new league. There are issues for me with PoE 2. And the issues for me with PoE 2 is you don't have enough independent configuration capabilities building my character up. I start to play the character, I get to a certain point, I'm unable to beat a boss because I decided not to do meta. I decided not to do a specific configuration that'll get me through the campaign. Then I switch back to, then I got to try to switch back to what I want to play. I showed earlier, this is my Ember Full Save type build. It's gonna be a ignite type, you know, set people on fire, you know, type of build, right? So I did everything that I possibly could to get it so that it functions. So reduce skill effect duration here. I ran up to reduce skill effect duration there. That allows me to so that when I cast Full Save, it actually comes out, attacks with no problem, and stuff like that. So where the problem comes in for me is I can go through and I can kill other things. So I'm sitting here and I can go through and I can kill mobs. So I can go through and I can kill mobs. Not that big of a deal. I can kill mobs. I can't kill the boss. This is a level, was it level 32 zone? I just made level 36 and I can't even get out of the boss's first area. So on this boss, I don't know if you remember, but this boss has 2 separate configurations. And those 2 configurations, now I'm about to do this to get myself some more damage. But the 2 separate configurations that is where the and this is minion damage, just FYI. This is getting me minion damage. Which I'm not really trying to be a minion player. But one of the things that I want to do is I really want to do this so I can get seals better, because I'm using Unleash, right? Really, I should just go ahead and go back to town.
How can I be of aid?
Time to change plans.
If I want to play this like I really want to, I need to go here, grab this seal thing so I can get more at the time, get it to pop up more at a time. Then there's one other spot. Where is it? I thought there was one other spot for seals, or is that something else that I'm thinking? But you do the seal frequency to get it to be able to get more embers up. The more embers you have up at a time, the more damage you're able to do. So this would get this. What this does is supported skills by Unleash have 10% increased seal gain frequency. So I get more seals. I get seals back faster. This will give me 20%. This gives me another 25. So in other words, what happens is I get another 45. I get 45% increased seals or frequency of getting my seals back. So so that more embers pop up pop up and while I'm going. Okay. So that's actually where the character build is. Now, if I remember, I do this, and then after I do the seals there, I go across to get into here to get more fire damage. So then it's more fire damage, and I think, which one is it? I think it's this one that I tried to do because I wanted to inflict ignites, and and the reason why is I want to be an ignite guy. So I wanted to get more ignites. And then after that, if you look here, one of the things that you can do in this one is flame magnitude. All damage from you and your allies in your presence contributes to flammability and ignite magnitudes. So I wanted to get that. And so my minions, the minions I have, I'm not trying to use them as a minion damager. All I want them to do is when they do fire damage, that's why I have the summon raging spirits. I don't want the summon raging spirits for them being a major damage dealer. I want them to be able to do damage to increase my flame magnitude, flammability magnitude, and ignite magnitudes, so that I can so ignites do more damage. So my first one is here. My second one is here. My third one is going to be here. Replace this and replace that. Gain Elemental Archon when you cast a spell while you have high flame. Elemental Archon does not expire while you have high Infernal Flame. Lose Elemental Archon on reaching a maximum Infernal Flame. So in other words, when I go into flame thing, and I keep myself where the liquid is right about here, the red part is right about there, it's going to, it gives me Elemental Archon. It's one of the things that I wanted to do. Can't do it because I can't get past the first boss, or second boss, sorry. So I am pretty much stuck. I'm pretty much stuck on this character. And that's where we have issues. That's where PoE 2 fails. It fails because I do not want to play, get something else, go through the entire campaign, and then try to get into this build configuration and see if it works. So damage penetrates 15% of fire. I know I need to go there. I know I need to get the damage penetrates 18% fire resistance, and then they ignite. That's it. So it was these two. So the first one comes up, you go through here. The second one you come across to go to here. And then there was you go over to this side, and you get the you're gonna get chaos inoculation and immune to chaos damage and bleeding, and then you want to add the as the other things, which I walk right past it because I don't need it right now. But you can get here to gain extra energy shield. There's some energy shield nodes that are around here somewhere. The energy shield thing over here, and then the one up here for an increased energy shield. And there's some other things that you do on this build that I planned the build completely out. Don't it's just that I couldn't get past the second boss, and I just gave up. That's true. That's true. But there's a difference though. And I'll just be honest. In PoE 2, that's a definite. In PoE 1, it's not. PoE 1, you can, but if you didn't want to, you don't have to. I can take a bad power in PoE 1 and run it all the way up into end game, then start tweaking and modifying, looking for uniques and everything like that, and get that power so that it actually does much better. You can get through the entire campaign in PoE 1 with powers that with a power that doesn't come into itself until the end game. In PoE 2, you can't go through the campaign with a power that comes into itself at the end game because you can't get through any of the bosses. Major problems, major issue for those individuals that just like to play the game, that like to play their style, that likes, they're like there's a what you want to call it? Oh, this is another one right here. Going into here, going there, grabbing that. Echoes of Flame. That's also a good one. But like one of the things that is not a good power configuration. I wanted to do at one time, I wanted to try to play a character that does that. This is one of my favorite things inside of PoE 1, and it's just not something that I was able to get functional in PoE 2, which is poison. Running and doing poison type damage in PoE 2 was not exactly functional for me. Not if, and I still want to do a poison build. Oh, don't get me wrong. I still want to do a poison build. I still want to run poisons. I just don't know what to do to get to that. I don't know what to do so that I can sit there and be like, oh, I got the poison nodes from here, and I got the poison nodes from there. Targets affected by poison plus +1 for your poisons at the same time. Because you got to remember, poison is different inside of PoE 2. Operates differently, functions differently, does not stack the same way you would have it in PoE 1. So how do you get around that, or how do you get affected by +1 poisons of your poisons at the same time? So I can get one poison from here. I can get one poison from over here somewhere. I forgot where it was. So I can get 2 stacks of poison. I can get a third stack from a gem. So I can have up to 4 stacks of poison on somebody. But how, and then my question was, how do I get that magnitude, that poison magnitude up to be able to do more damage? Because when you're sitting there and you're talking about poisons, the base magnitude of poison is chaos damage per second equal to 20% of the pre-mitigated physical or chaos damage of hit that affects it. This magnitude is not further affected by any modifiers to the damage you deal. So, you got to get that 20% increased magnitude per poison you inflict. So I can get, for 4, I get 100% increase poison magnitude, which gives me more damage. Then you've got the increased effect of poisons on a person. Then you have, here we go, 30% increased magnitude on poisons you inflict. So in other words, you get 130% just by having the ones here and then grab that one. Then there was one other thing. Oh, you got to get that. And then down here, there was duration. And you inflict also against, they call slow as well. So where my problem came in, and this is where the problem came in for me, was how do I get across these things, get poison so that it is the main damage dealer capability for a build, and if you want to do it, you got to come out either the mercenary side or you have to be one of these two over here. So when you're sitting there and you're talking about the builds, you want to come out, you want to come out where your start point is this one, or this one. That's the only way to get into poison. But these don't necessarily go well with the powers that they normally start with. Don't really go well with me being a poison build. I did a Pathfinder for my poison build this league. Well, don't get me wrong, Pathfinder works, but it's a play style. It's a play style thing. The powers that I want just doesn't work out. And so what I want is just kind of like what I want with this guy. With this girl, I want ignite. I want to ignite people, and I want the ignite damage to be very high. Get the ignite magnitude up so that they burn to death, and to burn to death over time. That's what I want. That's what I want this character to be able to do. That's what I want to be able to, how I want to be able to play the character, but I can't get to that point. I quit the game because of it. Yeah, agree. People does have different play styles. Yep. People have different play styles, and my play style is good for me in most cases. Now, this is where it's kind of funny. This is funny. I probably have more fun playing, well, not even probably. I do have more fun. I have more fun playing Diablo 4. Diablo 4, Last Epoch than playing this game. Playing Path of Exile 2. Now, this is the funny thing. I don't play Diablo 4 on stream and everything like that because they have made some major how can I say? They have made some major decisions that have just irked me so bad that I just cannot actually. I gotta pay $70 to get a new character class. Really? Almost $100 to get a new character class. just didn't feel like that was a that was them trying to be very, very, very money grubbing. If they would have said, okay, new class is maybe about $5-10, I could probably get with that. Or a supporter pack configuration where you can get some what you want to call it, get some MTX plus the new character, I probably would have been kind of okay with it. But they went straight, I want money. And they were like, gotta pay me $80 to get this new character class. Nah, I'm not doing it. I can't spend the money for it. I refuse. So because of that, I kind of just didn't want to, because I didn't want to be tempted to buy it. I was like, well, I do have the $80 to get it. Let me just go ahead and get it because I kind of want to see how that character plays. I didn't want the temptation, so I was like, hit Diablo 4, not playing it. Then you got Last Epoch, which I'm still playing Last Epoch on the side a little bit every so often. But it has its ups and downs as well. But Last Epoch, that was one I really, really would love to get this character to play and get her to function. Because I want that play style. I just want that play. I want to be able to do Full Saint Embers and they go out and hit the bad guys and it generates the summon raging spirits and they get ignited and the ignite just causes them to burn more and then it's just an over time of me fighting them that they just burn to death and I just don't have them, and I don't want them necessarily to just explode. I'm not worried about that. I don't want, it's not like I cast my power, I wipe the screen out and I move on to the next area. I don't care if it works that way. I want to, okay, yeah, they're burning to death, the little effects of fire and stuff like that, and they're dying, and I pick up all the stuff that's left. It's kind of like with poison. It's like when I poison a guy, I don't want him to just explode. It's not that. Ignite is not just boom, they're dead. Poison is not boom, they're dead. It's over time, they die, and you go over and you pick up the stuff. That to me is a fun play style. That's a fun play style to me. It's enjoyable to just be like, I got you. I'm running away a little bit. Oh yeah, you're dead. And let me go back and get my items. I enjoy it. It's fun. But hey, yeah. My heart hurts every time I play this game. Yesterday I broke into hives. My back was itching. I was just like, oh. When I was watching the videos, I actually got to a point where I was like, oh, my back is itching. I can't take it anymore. I turned the fan on to try to cool me down and everything, just so I could try to get through and everything. So, all right, let's talk. Let's talk. So we got 20 days to think about this. Should I'll make two characters. I'll make two characters this league. What characters should I play? I still want to play my Ember Full Saint. I still want to try it. See if it's good. What other character should I play? Should I play my plant mage? Or my plant oracle guy? Where I'm using plants and kind of using plants and vines to kill things, which is it's a cool play style, don't get me wrong, I enjoy it. Or should I go with the sorcerer and pull the build guide up for my old sorcerer, go through the process of updating it for the new environment. Excuse me. I burped. I'm sorry about that, guys. Somebody said something that just almost made me throw up. I just, oh, whew, whew. I don't want to. I didn't want to throw up, but yeah, I almost did. Somebody said something about crossbows. And it was yeah, I was asking which ones I should play that I like playing. So I want to do an Infernalist. I could do I could do Oracle again, or I could do Sorcerer. Those three are guaranteed to be able to get to the end game. Well, not guaranteed. These two are guaranteed to get to the end game. I've done it before with using frost bolts for this character, the sorcerer using frost bolts. This guy can get to the end game because the plants were still strong. I quit because I just didn't want to go through the campaign, but the plants are strong. I can just throw vines out and then use the other ones and rainstorm, plant, vine, rainstorm. That's it. That's all. 3 powers. That's all you need. You can get through every boss. Oh, bosses. Fine. They're dead. Okay, keep moving. I think this guy, actually, the plant guy, was probably the play style or the power itself. Let's consider that power meta. It's actually a meta power in my opinion, because it's strong. I mean, humongously strong. I mean, that was just like, wow. I get to bosses, and I was getting to bosses, and it's like, boop, boop. I don't think I had any problems with bosses, really. There was one boss that I had an issue with. And what happened was, I got hit with the mechanics and everything like that, and I had to go back in again. And then when I went back in again, it was an easy peasy beat down. But I got caught with the mechanic on the first try. But then so we got choices. I can so sorcerer, frostbolt sorcerer, plant mage. I call it a plant mage, even though there's no mage in the game really. Or infernalist. One of those three. Those are my choices. Those are going to be the choices. Sorcerer, plant mage, or infernalist. I can do the infernalist just to see if I can get through, and probably get pissed off and upset when I get to Act 2, and then switch to whatever the next one is. But I don't know. I should try to figure it out. Now this is a good guy, but that one's gonna be the one. Laughing my butt off. What you laughing at, Hutch? What you laughing at? You laughing at that I said that I'm gonna play and then get to Act 2 then quit? Or you laughing at what are we did yet said? When Mal uses bad language, you know the gang upset him. Oh yeah, Yeah, you are right. You are right. I might, if I did slip up and say a bad word, you are right. I said a bad word because this game irritates me so bad. Look, I'm upset with this game. This is where I don't know why I'm so upset, other than it is such a great opportunity to be a great game, but they just driving me crazy. They are driving me crazy. It is terrible. I used a bad word. I feel bad now. Oh, I didn't even realize I just cursed. If I did. I just realized. So we can quit the game. Oh. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. I got this. I got this. Gotta breathe in, breathe out. I can agree. I can agree. The vision that they have is preventing the game from being generationally awesome. And that is a truthful. They are concentrating heavy on in-game, the in-game stuff. And they don't see that the struggle in the campaign is where it's driving certain people away. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people that play the game. There's a lot of people that play the game. If you look at the numbers right now, let's just look at the numbers on who's looking at the game. Let's just look at see how many people. So with Path of Exile, there's over 7,000 viewers right. There's 7,000 viewers right now. There's only 621 viewers in Path of Exile 1. Diablo 4. 21K. Looking at Diablo 4. Hey, that's actually pretty nice. Oh no. Go by Steam charts? Okay, I mean, I'm just talking about viewership inside of Twitch. I can go to the Steam charts and look at how many people are playing it in Steam. But yeah, you're right. Diablo 4 ain't bad. Diablo 4 is not bad. It's actually a pretty good game. It's fun to play. It's fun to play. You can get through, kill all kind of things, get to the end game. You can have bad powers and get to the end game. It's not bad. But all in all, I mean, my thought process on this is, what right now my thing is, what am I going to enjoy to play? That's where I'm at right now. What am I going to enjoy playing? Yes. The progression in D4 is so much better because I can take my character and I'm getting better, stronger. All right, I get to the end game, and then when you get to the end game, you're like, wow, I'm not as strong as this other guy, but I'm still able to fight the bad guys. I'm still able to do the in-game content. I'm not running around wiping out screens, taking the bad guy at whatever the what's it called inside of D4, the escalating configuration, nightmare, whatever you want to call it. It's that you start off, you got the standard, then you got the second one, then you got the third one. I forgot what that's called, but I might not, my character can only do the standard or the second one. I'm enjoying playing the standard or the second one. Yeah, I can't do the third one, the nightmare version of things, but I'm still awesome in my part of the thing. I am able to do this very awesomely, very good, etc., etc. That is why D4. Let me just go ahead and let me see if my D4 is updated. If my D4 is updated, I'm gonna play that tomorrow. If my D4 if it's not updated, not saying that. What I'm saying is I need to get my D4 updated. Let's do it like that. If I get my D4 updated tonight, I'll play it tomorrow. Just because we haven't played D4 in a while. I still think it's BS that they try to get me $80-$90 for a class. Oh my gosh, it still hurts right here. Like they're choking me to death. There we go. I haven't played with BattleNet in such a long time. There we go. Hey, no, we don't want to do that. All right. Ooh, that's terrible. This thing is like, super secret. Can't get into the doggone system. They are seriously got, oh man. Get my authenticator to work. Ooh wee. All right, now I gotta go to here and approve. All right, then approve. All right. Wow. Now that's some security, people. That is some security. Wow. Holy crud. Oh, sorry. I sneezed and I forgot to put mute up. So they are seriously pushing on Diablo 4. Upgrade, grab the new pack, expansion pack. Expansion pack is, even the expansion packs are too expensive. They are way too expensive. This is why I don't play D4. This is why I didn't want to get into D4. But D4 is a good game. I just really am irritated with that. So, but all in all, that's where we are with that. Okay, so let's go. So we're gonna try to do. Let's play PoE 1 tomorrow. What do y'all think? PoE 1 tomorrow or Path of or Diablo 4? I can do either one. Got one PoE 1. Schmeagle, that's why I haven't been playing PoE Diablo 4. I haven't played Diablo 4 ever since they were like, oh, to get this extra character, you must pay $80. I was like, I can't do it. And so I just loaded it up just a second ago to see what was going on. And I was like, they are trying to push this new expansion pack down my throat. And the expansion pack is too much money. I ain't got money to spend on it. You gonna be the assassin master? Okay. PoE 1 it is tomorrow. We got 2 PoE 1s. And 3 if you count Are We Dead Yet just trying to goad me into playing PoE 1. That's what he's doing. He's trying to goad me into playing PoE 1. Hey, so Are We Dead Yet? With the mana forged arrows, mana forged arrow configuration. One of the configurations and one of the settings that I had done was I decided to do that with what you want to call it, Toxic Rain. So Toxic Rain was my main delivery system, and the mana forged arrows was coming out of that. Now I was just wondering, could we do the which I need to test this, instead of doing mana Toxic Rain as my main damage, put mana forged arrows and get all the things that I need for that, and then utilize ballista, because ballista is a bow thing. It's considered a bow skill. So if I'm casting ballistas, would it trigger my mana forged arrows? I think it does. I just need to do a test play to see if it does, because that would actually be a pretty good configuration, I think, if I could do that. True. If you're going with cast on crit, yeah, that would actually probably be a good way of doing it. Life tap does, yes. So you put life tap on the mana forged arrows, which allows it to execute. You do, and since we're going down poison route, everything that's poison that dies gets us back health. But yeah, the thing is, I'm trying to figure out how to get the cast on, the COC part of it. I'm trying to figure out the better way to do the COC. But then the question is, do we really need to do COC? And the reason why I'm asking that is, yeah, make sure we crit so that we can use perfect agony. A legendary? Somebody got a legendary? Oh no, I missed it. Y'all are running doggone dungeons without me. That's terrible. That's terrible. Y'all are just running dungeons without me. Check out my battery. Shh. Don't say anything. Oh man, I already did get found out. Spiegel, join, Spiegel. You got 12 seconds. 9, 8, 7. Spiegel joined. We got a 4-player party. Yeah. Okay, so we'll do PoE 1 because we still need to get the assassins up and running. Hey, are we dead yet? You did say something which kind of made me think about it as well, which is running a private league for a while, a private gauntlet type league where everything's a lot harder to play. I'm thinking about doing that, but if I do it, I don't know if I want to do an SSF hardcore. I don't know if I want to do a hardcore configuration because I want to kind of try to learn and get better with certain character configurations and stuff like that. And hardcore would just, it'd be dead, then I'd have to make another character, then I'd have to make another character, and I just don't know if I really want to do that. But if you're serious about joining a private league, I could do it after I get tired of Path of Exile 2. i.e. after the first weekend. i.e. after when I get tired of Path of Exile 2. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm gonna quit immediately. I'm just saying. Man, are we dead yet? You just trying to, I'm in. You just trying to get dungeons run like crazy, aren't you? What I need to do is I need to get a Tangia configuration. Hey, you know Tangia has a different game that you can that interacts with Tangia. You can actually buy a game or get a game on Steam that Tangia works with. I forgot what it's called. Hold on a second. I was thinking about that as well. Hold on, what's the name of that game? It's called Ascendant. I don't know. It's like a card game, I think. It's $9. Man, let me try to. Let's look and see what it does. And Ascendant. the dungeon crawler game. There we go. So that's the name of the game. Now, how does it interact with Pangea? That's my question. Be sure to enable. Okay, so what does it do? There are interactions that you can do for Ascended. I'm looking at what those are. Oh, okay, I got it. Okay, so this is what it does. So we're all very aware of the situation. You can get Ascended and start playing it, and then the Tangea interactions, people are able to add things to the thing. So I'll sit there, I'll be fighting or whatever, and then somebody can redeem a slime boss, and they can redeem a pack of enchanted armor. They can redeem, fire knights and things like that. So what happens is the stream is able to make things more difficult while you're playing. So what was going, I think what we had seen, you remember I was in the video, it's like you're going around, you're trying to kill things. Well, there's interactions that people can do from Tangea where there's like, they throw a pack of mobs out there and they'll throw more things to make it harder for you. And it looks like there is a total of 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 10, 11, 19 total interactions. Oh wow, you could do that's kind of nice, but it's not a lot of them. You can even do things like the stream can make it difficult for me to play, as well as the stream can be like, hey, let's give him a boost. Boom, he's now got it. Now his wand is able to fire like a Gatling gun and things like that. So that's actually pretty cool. I don't know if that'll really be good for my stream due to the fact that it looks like these interactions might be pennies. You gotta pay 10 cents to do this, 10 cents to do that, and things like that. So people would have to have bits to be able to play it and do it. Oh, hold up. Will I make it? Aha! I was able to join Sheepish in another dungeon crawl. But all in all, I think that's what we're gonna do tomorrow. We'll play PoE 1. I still have some stuff I want to do with PoE 1. We definitely need to get better at a couple of different things. I have almost completed the build guide for the Summon Phantasm build. I don't know if y'all remember, we were working on, I know this says PoE 1 or PoE 2 for the tag, but I'm gonna show you guys. Of course. Of course. If y'all, I don't know if y'all remember. We got this character up to 90. Not really, sucker man. Not really. Not really. Not really. There they go. But we've come on, come on. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, this is kind of, I think Diablo 4 is still downloading in the background. Kind of choppy. But this is my whatchamacallit build, the Summon Phantasm build, which is really good. As you can see, it's a really good, really fast-paced build. Oh, it's that guy. There we go. But that's the PoE one thing that we got. The other thing that we've been working on is the assassin, and I'm probably gonna run this guy up a little bit more just to try to see exactly what we got. But there's there's some assassin play that we need to kind of work on and get everything that we need. But either way it goes, I think we got a solid way of doing things and getting things done. Now, what I need to do, just FYI for everybody, is I'm gonna get on off here because I gotta go shopping for things for the wife or I'm gonna get killed. Did any of the PoE 2 stuff look good? It did. Well, don't get me wrong. It all looks good, but it's all things that don't address the major problems with PoE 2, sucker man. The main problems that it does not address, and this is where I have a problem is it doesn't address my major issues. They've got good quality of life things, good end of game things, really good stuff like that. But getting to the end game, getting past the bosses, going through where they didn't really address those problems. Jonathan was on there inside of the Ziggy D interview, and he was like, he wants to have people to have agency to be able to create builds and be able to play, things and experiment and, and enjoy and or move, go through different things. Well, you can't. Not in PoE 2. Earlier, sucker man, I got online. I was like, I got online and showed people the characters that I had made. Like, hey, this character, this is the best things that you can get for this character, so it does the most amount of damage. But guess what? I can't get past the Act 2 boss. Because, and I was like, well, if I respec everything out, go this particular route, change over to doing this with this particular power, I instantly would be able to beat him. But it's not the power I want to use and not the play style I want to play. Yeah. And the ability to craft, and don't get me wrong, I'm sitting there crafting my butt off. All for my character to be able to try to get to where I need to be, but it's not good. The Minion RF, yes, I do want to try Minion RF. I do feel that would be interesting. But with Minion RF, it's like, Yeah, it's a level 90 stat. It's all in game. It's all at the end of the campaign. They are giving us the ability to modify things and play things differently at the end game, but they're not giving us the ability to get to the end game in a play style that you want to play. So, like the minion RF thing. If I get to the end game, I'm gonna be one type of character. I'm gonna have to respec everything, and to try to play the minion RF because I want to do chaos damage. And so you're gonna want to increase your chaos damage capability. You want to increase your minions, so you want minion damage and chaos damage increasing. So there are certain things in the tree that you're gonna want to grab that you didn't grab before. So you're gonna have to respec out, change a whole bunch of different things, and then try to use and see if that actually, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna work. I'm gonna have to respec again because I respec this to thinking it would work, and it's no. So there are problems. There are problems in the philosophy of how things work. If it wasn't, and now they went through the process of making it better for you to get through the campaign. You've got trigger marks in the campaign that hold up. Yeah, we need another PoE Path of Exile 1 league. That would be so much better. But I'm gonna try to get to the end game. I really, really am gonna try to get to the end game. I just don't know. I feel that if I'm gonna get to the end game, I'm gonna have to play a sorcerer, or I'm gonna have to play my plant mage, the oracle thing. Yep. I know what you're talking about with Mother's Day. That's what I was just about to tell everybody. I was about to get off early because I need to go do some stuff, because if I don't, my wife's gonna kill me. Mother's Day is this weekend. Y'all don't know that. If y'all didn't realize, tomorrow you gotta get your stuff right. If not, y'all will be like, "Hey Mal, did you survive?" Nope. Y'all see me beat up. Tomorrow I'll be in here black-eyed, messed up, going, "I'm gonna try to play." No, my wife ain't gonna beat me like that. But either way it goes, I do need to go get some stuff for my wife for Mother's Day. So I'm gonna get off and I'm gonna end my stream so I can go ahead and do that. Hey, guess what? Did y'all see my new start? Look at this. Y'all see my new awesome start? Da-da-da-da. I'm thinking about redoing it and changing it because there's some other things that I want to do. Now, I'm getting so good at doing things. This is my last Epoch start. When I decide to play Last Epoch next, that'll be the beginning part, the beginning animation for starting, and then yeah. So I'm working on stuff. I'm working on stuff in the background. ChatGPT did a good job. Incorrect. ChatGPT wasn't the one that did it. You gotta get good AI, people. Gotta, I'm actually thinking about some things like this. We've got Path of Exile 2 stuff, right? And I have AI, a local AI. I download the press kit. I upload the images from the press kit into my my AI, my agentic agent that I got, and the agentic agent should go through and generate images, videos, etc., and or create overlays that then I could just change in my thing, so I don't have to actually. I could. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get my local AI. Oh, trust me, it is pain. It's pain in the. It does not work. It's been such a pain because where the problem comes in, and I'll tell you what the problem is that it will change things all on its own, and it doesn't match the game. But either way it goes, I'm trying to get an agentic agent built so that I can just take the press kit from PoE 1, PoE 2, take that, upload certain images. It generates an intro start, a be right back, and a stream ending. I have new new ones that it generated, and it made it. It's actually pretty nice, pretty nice. Now the question is, how do I get it? Okay, so this is where my problem comes in. I'll explain it. I needed to generate the same size web frame and the same size, because y'all might not see it, but the web frame itself, right down here, the chat frame and the web frame, I need to get it to generate the same size one every time so that I could just instantly replace it. I can just go boom, replace, boom, replace. And so what I've been having problems with is the AI going through and generating the frames for me so that it will to generate my frame the exact same way every time. So working on it. As soon as I can get my local AI to be able to do that, oh, good. This will be so, y'all will be like, oh, that's awesome. You know, and I can change on a regular basis. I could change every league would have its own frames and its own start and its own thing. So that's what I'm thinking. Because if you look at the press kit, the current press kit, I already downloaded it the other day, I think. Verify. Yeah. So it has this. Has this. It has this. So it has all these images, right? So what I need to do is I need to take the most important images, take the logo, take the maybe take some things like this, you know, and just upload some of the images. So I'm gonna just be honest with it. You can't upload every image because it can only take so many. But you can get it to upload like maybe 4 or 5 images, and then tell it to, you know, take the theme of this image and kind of do things with it. It takes it a while to do it. Don't get me wrong. It takes it a little bit of time for it to be able to process it. Now, hey, I know if I went to ChatGPT or to Copilot or something like that, it would be able to generate it a lot easier but I have to do it my way, which is cheap. I'm not paying for any of those services. It's not gonna happen. But either way it goes, I'm out of here. I gotta go shopping, go get food, take care of the wife for the Mother's Day. Hey, and we'll have a Mother's Day stream tomorrow. I'll let y'all see what I got for my wife, etc. But hey, I will talk to you guys later. Peace out, and I hope this helps you in your quest for ultimate power. Peace. Yes, I have to use the old one because I didn't make an ending yet. It was processing and it crashed the other day. Either way it goes, peace